Hey there YouTube, Pixar Prime 10 here, and welcome back to another episode of Mega Man 3. Today I am going to be reviewing for you not one, but 4 of the Pop Funko Mega Man figures. This set of figures was released in, I want to say, summer of 2016, somewhere in that area, if I'm not mistaken. And this is not actually the full set of figures that they released for Mega Man. So as you can see, here we have Mega Man himself, his brother Protoman, his faithful dog Rush, and his arch nemesis Dr. Wily. Now, this is not actually all the figures that they released in the Mega Man collection. They also released, I think it was 3 color variants of Mega Man. They released a version of him where he had the Ice Slasher weapon color, so it was like an icy, kind of lighter blue coloring. Then there was the Firestorm colors, which had the orange and red colors. And they also released a gray one, which was titled the Retro Mega Man, but I think it was like a Target exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't get any of those because I don't really care about having the other colored variants. I don't collect Pop Funko figures because they're really kind of a sickness. When you get one, you want to get all of them, and because there was so few in the Mega Man collection, I figured this would be the one collection that I would actually get, and I cannot get myself enough Mega Man stuff. So yeah, I didn't really need the other colors of Mega Man because my favorite color of Mega Man, with the exception of the Metal Blade color, is the classic blue. So I figured I'd just be okay with one of each mold that they did, and basically to get the actual main set. So we have these 4 characters here, and because they're really basic figures, I'm going to be reviewing them all in one video, but we're going to look at each box one by one because they're pretty much the same, but of course each one is tailored for each different character. And starting off with the Blue Bomber himself, here we have the packaging for the figures. So it's, if you've ever seen a Pop Funko figure before, this is basically what it is. You have the figure in a little plastic shell in there with a picture of who you're getting on the side there. Obviously it's the same pose from there to there, so you got Mega Man. It says Mega Man right there. It has the Mega Man logo up there. He has number 102 of, I'm guessing, the Pop Games line. On the side here we have just another image basically of the figure. It says Mega Man in 8-bit font, which I really do like that it uses the 8-bit font. That's awesome. It says Pop Games. Flip it around in the back, you have Mega Man there saying Pop Games. You have the Mega Man logo, and it says the other ones that you can get in this collection, and you can see it says Dr. Wily, Protoman, Mega Man, and Rush. You can tell that these are like the 4 main ones in the line. That's the reason I only got those 4. You have the Capcom logo right there. Spin around the other side, it's just another open window. You can see Mega Man side to there. It says Mega Man there, 102, and on to the next figure. And here we have Mega Man's lone brother, Protoman, or Blues, as some people like to call him, mainly if you probably live in Japan, but that's besides the point. I have a feeling that this figure is going to be my favorite. I've always loved Protoman's design, even though Base is actually my favorite Mega Man character, but they didn't make a figure of him, which really gets me a little frazzled, but that's alright. We have some really awesome characters here. I probably would have preferred Base over Dr. Wily, but it's whatever. So clearly you can see the only thing that differs from box to box is their number. You have Protoman's image there. It says Protoman there. Flip it around. You have a really cool image of Protoman there. It's basically just the figure. Mega Man logo there, blah, 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 blah. Same stuff as all the other boxes. I forgot to mention that it does have the Capcom logo and the Funko logo. So, yeah, there's Protoman, and here we have Mega Man's faithful steed, or his faithful dog, who was introduced in Mega Man 3. Oh, Mega Man 3, look at that. Rush. So, Rush's picture, his ear actually does block his figure a little bit there, but you can see him inside. Obviously, the thing with the Funko Pop figures is the heads are huge. That's kind of their whole design motif, so Rush looks a little funky. You got his name there, and you see vinyl figure, figurine, and vinyl figure div, and whatever. Mega Man, of course, picture, other figures in the line, window. I actually didn't check the bottom. There's really nothing of interest. And on the top is just the top half of the figure's head, and that's it for Rush. And here's Dr. Wily. Man, we're just going rapid fire with these things, aren't we? Dr. Wily, obviously the main protagonist of the Mega Man series. You have really angry looking Dr. Wily there, the figure inside Mega Man. Dr. Wily, bada bing, bada boom. Dr. Wily, blah, 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 blah. Same stuff as every other box. I also forgot to mention there's a little head popping up there. And there you got Dr. Wily there. I kind of wish they made a Dr. Light and a roll and a base, and I just, instead of the other colors of Mega Man, maybe round out all the main cast of Mega Man, but it's okay. But because these are insanely simple boxes, I figure it's about time to show you guys the actual figures, so why don't we do that right now. Here we have all 4 of the, or well, all 4 of the ones that I have, of the Pop Funko Mega Man figures out of their boxes. So, what do you say we go ahead and start with the main guy himself, the star of Mega Man, Mega Man. Alright, and here we have the bot himself, Mega Man. Now, if you guys are familiar with Funko Pop figures, even in the slightest, you know what these things are supposed to look like. They have very skinny bodies, they have the really large, abnormally large heads, and they have the 2 dark, soulless, black eyes. and more or less most of the time, no mouths. And I gotta be honest, I don't love the Pop Funko figures. I have nothing against them, but I don't collect them because I don't think they're particularly great. I think they're cool. I don't have any problem with them, like I said, but I don't collect them. And I don't think there are a lot of figures that look good in this style. So for, like I was saying, there are a lot of Funko Pop figures and a lot that I would actually enjoy having. There's a lot of Pixar ones, there's a lot of Transformers ones, but a lot of them don't actually look too great in the Funko style. But there was something about, I guess, just Mega Man himself and these figures that I really liked the look of the Pop design for these characters. Mega Man here is in a very normal pose. He's kind of got his abdomen and body going out, and he's got, you know, the one-fisted arm and the Mega Buster up, standing proudly, and he's kind of just got this, you know, proud pose going like, I'm Mega Man, don't double cross me. And I really like it. They're not posable. The only thing is you can see is you can turn the head 360 degrees, but I like it. It kind of gives you the option here. You can have him kind of having his gun at the ready, but you can have him also proud and, you know, displaying himself and holding his Mega Buster up high. So yeah, these are what I would describe as very minimalist figures. As you can see, there's not a lot of paint application going on. You have the classic blue on his helmet, his arms, his legs, his little underwear crotch plate there, and his legs are even, you know, kind of in a walking pose. I really do enjoy the pose that this actually has. It does have really nice paint details. You have the blue around his ears and the red dots in there. On both sides, you have the yellow bar on the side of the Mega Buster and the red dot in the center there. No dots on his feet. Now, I'm struggling to remember if Mega Man is supposed to have circles under his feet. I think depending on what piece of art and what figure you look at, he does and he doesn't. It is a little weird seeing this helmet kind of, you know, not cover the bottom of his chin, but, you know, Funkos are supposed to have this really big square head, so, you know, it's nothing I can complain about. No mouth, and he's got his little nose right there, and the head is an okay sculpt. Like I said, it's the classic Funko Pop. You have the detailed lines here on the back, which I really do enjoy. The fist and everything's, you know, molded nicely. It's a minimalist style, like I said, but I do think it looks really good. The paint application is nice. It's not sloppy, and at the very least, it's, to me, a really nice little display figure just to have for Mega Man. There's no real paint applications I can complain about. There's a little bit of bleeding here with the helmet. Other than that, it all looks pretty good. It's a little bit shiny and a little bit squeaky, or not squeaky, greasy when you get out of the package. So I would probably display him like this. I'll probably be displaying all of these in the box because I like them in the box. I don't have to worry about the figures themselves getting damaged. But these actually don't look too bad. But yeah, other than that, the paint applications are applied really nicely. They're not sloppy, and I think Mega Man is a pretty good looking figure, and I really enjoy the way that he looks. So because these figures are extremely simple, there's nothing really more to talk about with Mega Man, so let's go from Mega Man to Protoman, and this one I actually really love. I think more than Mega Man. I think in terms of characters, I want to say I prefer Mega Man more than Protoman, but they're honestly probably tied for me. They're brothers, and they just go well together, even though, like I've said, Bass is actually my favorite Mega Man character. But Protoman here has got a lot more going on than Mega Man. I think the reason I like this is because he doesn't have the typical Funko Pop black soulless eyes. He has black eyes, but it's his black visor, which he's known for having, so it actually does look a lot more like Protoman than any of these figures do to their actual characters. Protoman also just has a lot more going on. So you have a great head sculpt with the helmet and a really nice paint app with the spike, the red crest on top of his helmet, and his visor just looks, it's really big, it's really nice, and it looks awesome. And Protoman, he kind of looks good without a mouth. He looks ominous. Like when I think of Protoman, I think of him as a character you wouldn't be able to see his mouth typically. You have the really nice vibrant red paint on the helmet, or the Proto Buster, his arm, his legs, and everywhere else. You have a red belt right there. Of course, his gray, I guess, body, you know, typical to Protoman. His scarf in the back there, which is, he's got a couple signature things, which his scarf would be one of them, his yellow scarf. I do like how it is flowing off of there. I do like how they included that. I don't know why they wouldn't, but I do like that. You have the green detail in the back of his helmet that he does in fact have. You will see that on any piece of Protoman art you look at. You also have the white ears opposed to the blue on Mega Man with the green inserts inside there. And of course you have his classic Proto Shield. So I really do love how they could have put it on his back, but I really like how they had him holding it instead. So with this one you can even have him like that, like with his Proto Buster ready for battle and his shield in the back, or you can rotate it like that. And he's kind of got his shield pointing towards you. And with him, you could probably even go like that and have him looking over his shield, which is awesome. So I do think this one is a little bit, I do like this one a lot more than Mega Man, just because I think for Protoman, this figure style works more. And like I said, he has a lot more going on for him. You also have the Proto Buster right there with the yellow detail there. And of course, the yellow detail on the tip of the Buster right there. His Buster is at his side opposed to Mega Man, who has his pointed up, but that's okay because he has the shield instead. So I really do like the way Protoman looks. On all the figures, they kind of have this ugly circle around their neck, which is, I'll be honest, it's ugly. I don't like it, but it's whatever. I mean, when you put it down, you can't really see it. And obviously, all of these figures are extremely top heavy because of how freaking huge and heavy their heads are compared to their tiny little bodies. But yeah, I think I can confidently say that Protoman is my favorite figure in this set. Moving on, keeping with the more, I guess, humanoid characters of these figures, we have the Mega Man's arch nemesis, Dr. Wily. Dr. Wily is always inevitably defeated, and he is always inevitably the villain of any classic Mega Man game. Now, you notice I started him off kind of standing on an angle, because if I put his head straight and try and get him to stand, he won't. He has this hair in the back here, which looks really nice. I really do like the molding of this. I love the molding of his hair. He's old. He's bald up here. It's the classic, hair that kind of comes around the back of the head. But because it's so heavy, he immediately falls if you try and get him to stand. I thought he would be the best at standing because he has kind of the biggest feet, I guess. But you have to put him on an angle or else he is going to fall. But as for the rest of the figure, I really like the head sculpt on here. It's just meh. And because he kind of has the mustache and the jawline, it kind of makes a makeshift mouth. So he is one of the few, Funko figures that actually does have a mouth. But yeah, I really like this head sculpt. It's very Dr. Wily-esque, just the angry gray eyebrows going down, and the classic, of course, Dr. Wily mustache. None of these figures look a lot like, their actual characters because they're in the Funko style. But this is one of the figures where I think you make an exception, kind of like Protoman, where it just looks really good. I think he has the best paint application detail of any of the figures. I absolutely love his red tie here, his blue jeans with the belt that go around, and of course, his classic white lab coat. His head spins 360 like everybody else. I love the chin, the big, nice, thick chin that Dr. Wily, of course, has. But yeah, what would be really nice about having a Dr. Wily is if we had a Dr. Light, his nemesis, to go with it. Even though Mega Man's his nemesis, Dr. Light is really the one he kind of hates because he's the one that kind of outshines him. He's kind of got a very basic pose going, fist at his side, but it kind of fits Dr. Wily. He's kind of just like, meh, I will defeat you, Mega Man. I actually think I would have preferred it if his arm was up in the air with his fist like curse you, Mega Man, or something like that. I think that would have looked really nice. If you angled his head, it would have worked perfectly. So I think that would have been better than just the normal standing pose, but what you gonna do? I mean, I really bought these just to have these two guys, and when I bought these two, I was like, might as well get the other two. So I don't really have any real bickering to do with Dr. Wily, but his paint applications do look a little bit sloppy, if I'm being honest. You have some spillage here on the hair. It spills over onto his scalp, and on the eyebrows here, you can see it's not painted right there. It's not painted right there. The mustache looks pretty good. He has that really weird looking nose. I wasn't expecting to like this one, but I really kind of do. I really enjoy this one. And this one, of course, has more of a matte kind of feel to it, aside from those two, which have the glossy feel because they're obviously painted. And finally, here we have Mega Man's faithful dog himself, Rush, who made his debut in, like I said, Mega Man 3, and it's Mega Man 3, which is awesome. Rush is definitely the most, I want to say, diverse of these figures because, well, he's a dog. So he has, the big, Funko head, but he has a dog body, which is really interesting, and it makes for really great standing. He will fall forward if you kind of, pull him, but it really kind of does take a lot. And something that I'm going to point out before you guys hear it yourselves is that, shake it by the microphone, if you can hear that, there's something rattling around in his head. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's doing it, but it makes me a little bit concerned. But I actually did not expect to like Rush, and I gotta be honest, he's probably my least favorite of the set. I just don't think he looks very good in this form. He looks like Goddard from Jimmy Neutron. I don't know why, but that's the vibe it's giving me. His circle under his neck is really kind of ugly, but, he has the classic Mega Man, dot with the stripe that goes back just like Mega Man. You have his little doggo ears there, the black eyes, and he's really cute, I'll be honest. He's got, the puppy or dog nose with the mouth that goes under. He actually has a mouth because he's a dog, so I can kind of see why they put that there. You have the helmet that goes around with pretty good paint applications, no real complaints there. The white and the red is very crisp where it connects, so it looks really good. The head will rotate a full 360 degrees, and you can have Rush walk backwards. This is definitely one that I would display at an angle. I might even display him like that because I kind of like the way that looks. But you have his little tiny dog body there with the pink on the shoulders and the little arm bits there and the white there, and his his little puppy paws and the yellow inside there and his tiny little tail. I love Rush. I like him a lot, but I just don't love this figure. I think it looks great when you have him next to Mega Man and Protoman. I think it really does complete the look of the set, so I'm glad I have it. But there's nothing really I can say about it. The molding is really nice. It looks like Rush. I like it. Of course, he has the big giant head because it's a Funko figure, so I can't complain about something like that. So for a Funko figure, I guess I really do like the way this one looks. So, yeah, if I'm being honest, there's not much more that I can say about these figures. I think each one of them is molded really nicely. The paint applications on each one look really good. Can't complain about anything there. And all these figures, all the paint just really pops. Funko Pop, no pun intended, really pops at you, and I really do enjoy it. But I think these two here, if you're going to get any of these figures, definitely get Mega Man and then maybe Protoman, or definitely get Protoman and maybe Mega Man. But I love all of these as a whole, and I'm really happy to be able to display them all on my shelf together. And now that I think about it, because the boxes will take up so much room, I actually might end up displaying these out of the box, because now that I've kind of had them in hand and I've been reviewing them, I really like the way they look out of the box. But alright guys, that's about going to wrap it up for the video review of the Funko Pop Mega Man figures. I really hope you enjoyed this installment of Mega Man 3. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next episode.